All right, so are you ready to dive into this stuff about AI in 2025? I've been looking through these articles and videos you sent over, and wow, things are about to get interesting.
It's really remarkable to see how quickly things are developing, and I'm particularly interested in the potential impact on how we interact with technology in our daily lives.
Yeah, and forget about those vague predictions about robots taking over the world. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. What are some concrete changes we might see within the year, like things that could actually impact us as, like right now?
Well, one of the biggest things that stood out to me is this whole idea of AI agents. We're not just talking about AI doing single tasks anymore. This is about AI managing entire processes, potentially even anticipating what we need before we even ask.
So like those articles about AI running entire workdays, scheduling meetings, drafting emails, analyzing data. I mean, it sounds incredible, but a little unnerving too. Are we talking about the end of freelance work as we know it?
That's the big question, isn't it? If AI can potentially handle a lot of those tasks, it does make you wonder about the economic implications for freelancers.
It's almost like having a super efficient intern who's constantly learning and never sleeps. Didn't some of those articles mention that Google and OpenAI are already building their own versions of these agents?
Absolutely. And Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, has even suggested that one day we might see AI running entire companies.
It's a fascinating concept. Is that a utopia or something to be worried about?
AI CEOs now, that's a deep dive for another day. But you're right, these are still early days, and a lot can change in a year.
Speaking of change, those GPT-4 natural language processing demos you sent were mind-blowing. Remember when talking to AI felt like talking to a wall?
It's incredible how far natural language processing has come. Now it's not just about recognizing words, but understanding things like nuance and tone, even sarcasm.
Exactly. It's like those old Siri commercials where you had to talk like a robot just to get it to understand you. Now it
Yeah.
feels like AI is finally learning to speak our language.
And that has huge implications for accessibility. People with limited mobility could control their environments with their voices, and people who have difficulty typing could communicate much more easily.
It's about making technology work for everyone. And let's face it, sometimes you just want to yell at your computer, and now it can actually yell back. Hopefully, with a better vocabulary.
Maybe it can even drive us around while we're at it.
Hold on, are you talking about self-driving cars? Now those I can geek out about. You know, I saw those tweets you included about people just hopping into Waymo taxis in cities like San Francisco and Austin like it's totally normal. And apparently they're more reliable than your average human driver.
It's pretty impressive how far the technology has come. And it's not just about convenience. Think about the safety aspect as well. Human error is a huge factor in car accidents.
That's a good point.
Hmm.
It really makes you think about the future of transportation in general.
Hmm?
Like, will we even need traffic lights if cars can just communicate with each other and drive themselves?
It's a complete paradigm shift. The UK is actually really close to allowing self-driving cars on public roads. So think about the ripple effect on urban planning infrastructure jobs. It's massive.
So we're talking about some serious changes to the way we get around. But okay, enough about cars for now. Let's talk about something a little closer to home. Literally, did you see any of those articles about AI in healthcare? Some of that stuff was kind of freaky.
Freaky, maybe not, but definitely intriguing. It's not just those symptom checker apps anymore. AI is getting into some serious medical territory: diagnosis, personalized treatment, even drug discovery.
Yeah, that article about Google's MedPolM was mind-blowing. It's actually outperforming human doctors on medical exams. And then there are those rumors about Apple developing an AI health coach. Imagine having AI that could track your health data and give you personalized advice 24/7.
The potential for preventative care is huge. I mean, imagine if AI could spot the warning signs of a disease way before a human doctor could.
It'd be like having a whole team of doctors on call all the time. But obviously there's a big but here. Data privacy. We're talking about some really sensitive information.
Absolutely. Data security is essential, especially when it comes to healthcare. Any system that handles that kind of data needs to be rock solid.
It's a tough one, right? The more data AI has access to, the better. It can personalize our healthcare. But that also means putting a lot of trust in these systems.
It's a balancing act, for sure. And speaking of trust, did you see those articles about personalized AI? The ones that talk about AI knowing you better than you know yourself?
Oh yeah, like having an AI best friend. Or maybe even closer than that. Kind of creepy, but fascinating at the same time.
It really shows you the potential of AI to personalize our experiences. Imagine AI that understands your values, your goals, your sense of humor. It could help you with decision-making, learning, even managing your mental well-being.
Okay, now that's just too weird. But seriously, how much do we really want AI to know about us? Where's the line between helpful and too invasive?
It's a crucial question, and one we'll need to answer as these technologies keep developing. We need to figure out what role we want AI to play in our lives. But remember, at the end of the day, it's a tool. Like any tool, it can be used for good or bad.
True that. So are you ready for one last mind-blowing AI topic before we wrap things up? We were talking about robots earlier and how that felt kind of old school. Well, apparently the future of robotics is here and is doing parkour.
Those videos you sent were pretty amazing. Even I was impressed by how agile and coordinated these new robots are. It's like they combined cutting-edge robotics with advanced AI.
Right. 1 minute this robot's practically dancing. The next, it's assembling a smartphone with these incredibly precise movements. It was mesmerizing.
It's incredible how far we've come in terms of fine motor control. And the really exciting thing is these robots are becoming much more affordable. We're past the point of research projects. Now these robots are ready for the real world.
So instead of just imagining a world with robots, we're actually living in it. What do you think that world will look like? Will we have robots building our houses, cooking our food, even writing our podcasts?
Now, wouldn't that be something? But seriously, the idea of robots becoming part of everyday life raises some important questions. Job displacement, safety, the very nature of work. These aren't just technological challenges, they're societal ones.
It's a lot to think about, isn't it? Like, it's exciting to think about all the cool stuff AI could do, but then it also makes you wonder, what happens to us humans in all of this?
It's definitely a two-sided coin.
Yeah.
And it's not enough to just focus on the technological progress we have to consider the wider societal impact, too.
For sure. So, out of everything we've talked about today, what has you feeling the most hopeful about the future of AI?
That's a good question. I think what excites me most is the idea that AI can actually enhance human capabilities rather than replacing us completely.
Like having a super brain by our side, helping us tackle those big problems that have always plagued humanity.
Exactly. Things like climate change, disease, poverty. AI could help us find solutions we never even thought of.
Like that article you shared about AI accelerating cancer research, that was really something.
Right. AI can analyze huge amounts of data and find patterns that would take humans years to uncover, potentially leading to breakthroughs in all sorts of fields.
It's more about collaboration than competition.
Yeah.
We bring our human strengths to the table. Creativity, empathy, intuition, and AI can amplify those strengths, helping us achieve even more.
It's like a partnership. And let's not forget about the potential for AI to bring people together across cultures and languages.
Breaking down barriers, fostering understanding and empathy, that's a future worth striving for.
Absolutely. But we have to remember the future isn't set in stone. The choices we make today, the conversations we have, the actions we take, all of that shapes what's to come.
So, to everyone listening, we want to hear from you. What are your hopes and fears about AI? What kind of future do you want to see? Let us know on social media, and let's keep this conversation going.
And as you go about your day, think about this. If you could have your own personalized AI, what would you want it to do? How could it help you live a happier, healthier, more fulfilling life?
That's a great question. I'm adding that to my to-do list right now. No AI required for that. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the future of AI. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep imagining the possibilities.